Georgie and Mandy's first marriage may have taken over young Sheldon's time slot, but its ratings reveal that it isn't quite the replacement that CBS wants it to be. CBS was essentially forced to wrap up the Big Bang Theory prequel due to the franchise's established canon. Young Sheldon's cancellation was due to the timeline, which mandated that at 14 years old, George would die and Sheldon would move out of Texas and to California. Both of them ultimately panned out, even though the network could have easily deviated from continuity to keep the popular series on the air. Instead of letting the Big Bang Theory franchise end, however, producers Chuck Lorre, Steve Holland, and Stephen Molaro came up with a way to continue the Cooper family's story in Texas. The popularity of Georgie and Mandy's unexpected love affair was an organic opportunity for a brand new show, with Georgie and Mandy's first marriage tackling the pair's unexplored history, while also functioning as a young Sheldon continuation, with appearances from Mary, Missy, and Meemaw. Despite its ties to Sheldon's origin story, however, it still isn't the replacement that CBS was hoping that it would be. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has only released 7 episodes, but it has been able to establish itself separate from its parent series while also continuing the Cooper story. Being filmed in front of a live studio audience may have initially dissuaded viewers to check it out, especially coming from young Sheldon. However, Lorre and his creative team have been able to strike a balance between comedy and drama, especially since Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is still dealing with the aftermath of George's unexpected death. Beyond that, it has also introduced a new ensemble with the McAllisters. Despite a rather good start to its run, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is still behind its predecessor when it comes to ratings. According to TV Line, Montana Jordan and Emily Osment's new show averages about 7.98 million viewers. That's 14% less than Young Sheldon's Season 7. While there's still a way to go before it can catch up on Young Sheldon's ratings, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage numbers are still great, especially for a freshman series. It's just that CBS will have to give it more time to properly fill the spot that its prequel left. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has proven itself to have the potential to carry the legacy of Lorre and Bill Prady's universe. It is a true family sitcom, something that young Sheldon eventually became after exhausting all possible storylines that only centered on Sheldon. That being said, not having the boy genius is definitely a factor in the new show's smaller viewership than its parent series. Jim Parsons was brilliant as Sheldon until The Big Bang Theory ended in 2019. Its prequel's biggest challenge was to cast someone who could bring the character to life as effectively as he did. And young Sheldon succeeded, with Ian Armitage equally fantastic in the part, even though his prominence decreased over the years. Without him in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, those who were introduced to the franchise via The Big Bang Theory barely have any connection to the ongoing CBS comedy. The good thing is that Lorre and his creative team are vocal about finding the perfect opportunity to bring Armitage's Sheldon back. As it is, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's viewership is still far from what young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory posted during their respective years on the air. However, that shouldn't be a major cause for concern, because ultimately, it's still a major hit. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is TV's most watched, #2-rated comedy. Not too shabby for a freshman series. Granted that it is standing on the shoulders of young Sheldon, CBS should not have any issues renewing the show for Season 2 and beyond. For what it's worth, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has a better chance of being on the air for as long as The Big Bang Theory. Unlike young Sheldon, which already had a predetermined ending when it started, The new series plays in an entirely new pocket of the franchise, which means that not much is known about what the future holds for Georgie and Mandy, except for their eventual split. So, CBS can stretch out its storytelling for as long as they want to. Sure. Here's a creative and engaging article discussing Georgie and Mandy's first marriage and how its ratings reveal it hasn't yet replaced Young Sheldon in the hearts of fans. When Young Sheldon first graced TV screens in 2017, it was heralded as the perfect spin-off to the wildly popular The Big Bang Theory. Its unique blend of quirky humor, emotional family dynamics, and heartfelt storytelling made it an instant hit. Over the years, it grew into a cultural phenomenon, especially as fans fell in love with Sheldon's family in Medford, Texas. But every show must eventually face its curtain call, and as Young Sheldon inches closer to its final episodes, CBS sought a successor that could continue the legacy of heartwarming humor and familial chaos. Enter Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. The premise seemed perfect. Georgie Cooper, Sheldon's older brother, and Mandy McAllister's unconventional romance, a teenage pregnancy, family drama, and a marriage full of comedic mishaps was a storyline that already resonated with Young Sheldon viewers. Spinning it off into a standalone show felt like a natural evolution. Yet, as ratings begin to trickle in, the numbers suggest that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage may not yet be ready to step into Young Sheldon's sizable shoes. When CBS announced Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, the hype was undeniable. Fans were eager to see more of Georgie's charming yet bumbling nature and Mandy's no-nonsense approach to life. The first few episodes leaned heavily into the comedic chemistry between the two, focusing on their struggles as young parents navigating a shotgun wedding in the 1990s. Early critical reception was optimistic, praising the show's ability to capture the nostalgia and warmth that defined Young Sheldon. However, the ratings tell a different story. While the series' premiere polled in respectable numbers, viewership has steadily declined over subsequent episodes. Industry analysts attribute this to several factors, including the show's pacing, its focus on niche themes, and the challenge of stepping out of Young Sheldon's shadow. So why hasn't Georgie and Mandy's first marriage captured the same magic as its predecessor? There are a few key reasons. In Young Sheldon, Ian Armitage's portrayal of Young Sheldon Cooper was the show's gravitational center. His quirks, brilliance, and social awkwardness created endless comedic and emotional opportunities. While Georgie and Mandy have great chemistry, neither possesses the magnetic uniqueness that made Sheldon such a compelling character. As a result, the show lacks a singular focal point to anchor its narrative. One of the biggest strengths of Young Sheldon was its ensemble cast. Mary, George S.R., Missy, and Mima all brought depth and variety to the storytelling. While Georgie and Mandy's first marriage occasionally brings in these beloved characters for cameos, the show primarily focuses on Georgie and Mandy. This narrower scope limits the emotional range and comedic possibilities that the Cooper family dynamic once offered. Young Sheldon balanced small-town humor with big-picture themes like ambition, belonging, and the pursuit of knowledge. In contrast, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage focuses on the challenges of young marriage and parenting, which, while relatable, doesn't have the same universal appeal. The show has yet to find a way to broaden its themes without losing the intimacy of Georgie and Mandy's story. To its credit, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage does excel in several areas. The comedic timing between Georgie and Mandy is spot on. with the two characters playing off each other's strengths and weaknesses in hilarious ways. The show also dives deeper into the realities of young love and marriage, exploring themes like financial struggles, generational clashes, and the sacrifices that come with parenthood. The setting in 1990s Texas suburb is another highlight. Nostalgic nods to the era, from outdated technology to quirky fashion choices, provide a fun backdrop for the story. Longtime fans of the Young Sheldon universe also appreciate the subtle references to Cooper family history, even if they don't always take center stage.